Hello there, Michaelers. Pearl Jr. here. I haven't been here in a while. I am so sorry, but there really hasn't been too much Michael news to report. And the last that we heard about the Michael biopic, it might come out as late as 2027. But we're hoping for a 2026 release date or a shock the world and it'll come out later this year, which I doubt, because someone very close to the production has informed me that this month, May, they were doing the presets. In June, they're doing the actual production of the pickup part. So hopefully they've added in Janet some kind of way. At least that's what I am hoping, that Janet gets, because right now there's no Janet character. And with Halle Bailey, her name's so close to Halle Berry. I always get it mixed up. That was not confirmed that she is playing the role of Janet, which I think she would have been fabulous playing Janet. So I hope they're at least putting Janet in some kind of way. But so we just wait for the Michael news. And you guys know that I always wanted to release a live 5 at the same time the Michael biopic comes out. So a live 5 will be delayed. And Cecil and I haven't worked on it. You know, we got 20 minutes of some bombshell kick butt information. Further proving that dead body was not the body of Michael Joe Jackson. Okay, we all know that's his name. Did you know there's a California criminal code 530.5 that says it is illegal to use the wrong name, to purposely, for fraud, for deceit. It may fall underneath the impersonation law, because who really is Michael Joseph Jackson? But the Criminal Code 539 says that you can't put the other information like Catherine's name, Joe's name, and all those names that are on the death certificate. And Catherine's name was crossed out, was blacked out. Did you know? On the actual autopsy, it says the mother and then it's blank. Okay, there, but they blacked it out, but there's no name there. Anyway, I think I went over that with you guys. But we're going to talk about some other stuff, okay, today. So we'll see. I'm working on some stuff. I'm not going to answer that. It says potential spam, and I get a lot of spam calls. You know why? Because I answer my phone because I'm old school. All right. So anyway, so we're going to talk about some other stuff. Before we get started, I want to, of course, let you know I'm coming to you from the Skin Butter Store here in North Hollywood, California at 11107. Isn't that amazing that that's, you know, Michael loves 11s, 1s. And that's just, they happen to be the address. And it's just, you know, it's that Michael magic, right? So anyway, guys, you just got to remember that I have so many wonderful fragrances. I have J'adore, which smells most like J'adore. I have vanilla. Oh my God, I never knew vanilla was that popular. I have Go Blue, which is Bleu de Chanel, smells most like. Magician's Dust, which is Egyptian musk, fabulous. Cocoa Mania. So I think I changed it also, which is coconut and mango. People say it smells like pina colada. So, you know, I kind of changed some of them to pina colada. Sage, which is an herb, and it has spiritual benefits. If you want to smell very earthy, it is an essential oil. OMG British Weed smells most like the very, very expensive Creed Green Irish Tweed. Oh my God, if you love a clean smell that's rich, it's great. And here's another fragrance that's based off of Creed Adventus. Very expensive. The big bottle can cost $1,850 plus tax. And the big bottle of this, the real stuff, could cost $1,650 plus tax, okay? But mine are, I call it smells most like, but it's Greed Adventure. Mine are $40 or $45. I can't remember. Bougie Silky smells most like Gucci Guilty. So, guys, and there's so many more. We have, we can offer up to 150 different fragrances and essential oils here. And plus we have a lot of other products. We're a real store. We have soaps, we have body wash, we have stuff for the hair. We have, face creams. And look at my chest, guys. This is a 62-year-old chest. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, because I shea butter every single solitary day. Okay, I put shea butter on and I smell fabulous throughout the day. And it's so good for your skin, especially if you have dry skin, or go on my Instagram page with the Skin Butter Store on Instagram, and you'll hear testimonies from people, how they get compliments, how it's gotten rid of their eczema, how their skin looks fabulous. So, and the soaps are great too. So make sure you go to Stays All Day Shea. Let's do work and play, because everybody's got skin, right? All right. So anyway, so let's get back to some Michael news now that I've done my promotion. Guys, and I got new thermal bags. Let me show you. I gotta go this way. Okay, new thermal bags. So that should help keep it cool during the summer, because shea butter can melt in the sun or the heat. So when you order it and you know it's coming, do not leave it in the mailbox, okay? Get it immediately, because I ship it frozen. And now I got the thermal bags, okay? So be sure to order your Stays All Day Shea at theskinbutterstore.com. All right, now let's get to some Michael news. Oh, I gotta show you a picture of me and my daughter. My daughter took me out to the Waldorf Astoria, woo-hoo-hoo, in Beverly Hills. Very fancy smancy. Thank you, Lana, and thank you to my server, Harmony. She's a great customer of mine, and she loves my shea butter, and so do the people at the Waldorf Astoria. Can you believe that? And other celebrities, which I've already told you guys about. Okay, so now let's wonder, why is TMZ... Here, let me get on camera. Michael News. Why did TMZ re-release the documentary Who Killed Michael Jackson? Because when I saw Harvey talking about it and saying it was going to be released the next day, when he said on the 9th, June 9th, that day has significance, okay? That's where the verdict day with the alleged victim and alleged date, right? Conrad Robert Murray guilty of manslaughter. The alleged victim, Michael Joseph Jackson, alleged date, June 25th, 2009. Well, before that, the judge called it an alleged incident. So in the court on verdict day, right before the verdict's being read, the judge calls it an alleged incident. Then it becomes an alleged victim after Conrad Murray was found guilty. It's alleged victim, alleged date. I mean, come on. Okay, but on that day, the judge also says, oh, verdict form, thank you, clerk, for handing it to me. There was an error, and it said the date of death was June 9th. So who put some squigglies on it? I mean, it is just such a joke, you know. So go back and listen to the full Conrad Murray verdict that day, and you will hear the judge called it an alleged incident, and you will hear, after they say he's guilty, alleged victim, and they say his name wrong, Michael Joseph Jackson. His name is bona fide FBI, California driver's license, lawyer for the DMV. They have all his valuable copyrights, his Motown original ID. His name is Michael Joe Jackson. Okay, Joe can be a real name. It does not have to be a nickname. His name is Michael Joe Jackson, just like Janet's name is Janet Demita Joe Jackson. Okay. So anyway, so on June 9th was like a date. It's another date too with Brandon Howard. Okay. When I first agreed to interview Brandon Howard. Okay. So if you guys want to go back to me telling the Brandon Howard and how I got, and Brandon Howard, everything fits. Everything in the puzzle piece fits that this is the Billie Jean son. Mickey Howard is Billie Jean, despite what she said, but she also said she signed an NDA, which means she couldn't tell, right? The Billie Jean, Mickey loved Billie Holiday, and she looked good in them jeans, like Marlon said, confirmed it. Thank you, Marlon. Billie's jeans, that's what it was, right? Because Quincy tried to talk them out of changing the name because of Billie Jean King. Thought people would get confused, and no. Okay, so Billie Holiday was her favorite artist, and the timing, the date, it's a son. Brandon is the name of Michael's brother that died, which was Marlon's twin. His name was Brandon, and you know Michael would do something like that, right? Also, and who knew back then? Who knew back when Brandon was born in 81? Right? I believe it was 81, that Marlon had a twin. That was not big. That wasn't news. That really didn't come out. I didn't find out till after the death announcement that Marlon had a twin that died, right? So somebody from the inside had to know back then about Marlon having a twin brother, Brandon, that passed away, which is Michael's brother also, right? And name him Brandon, right? Also, Chicago, Michael wanted to make sure that the video duplicated the streets of Chicago, and Mickey is from Chicago. I mean, and then she was more like a beauty queen. Mickey participated in teen beauty pageants. I mean, it's all there telling us. So Brandon is we do have a bloodline to Michael Jackson. Okay, and one day I'm going to talk about my thoughts of what happened with Michael Jackson and why Brandon had to be kept secret. I've already talked about it. You know, I don't want to go on and on and on and on and on about this because that's not really what I wanted to talk about today. Okay, so why did TMZ release who really killed Michael Jackson? I don't know. But they re-released it, okay? Now, the first thing is a lie, okay? In the first couple of minutes, because they talk about Demerol, right? And that Dr. Klein, who Debbie Rowe worked for, right? She was not a nurse. She was an assistant. She did not even finish her EMT training, okay? Debbie Rowe was not a nurse of any type, and she did, and when they asked her on the stand, did you finish EMT training? I don't remember. So that means no, she did not. Okay, while she was working for Klein. I don't know if she went back to school later. She could have. You know, I think she said Michael paid for some education. I don't know. But anyway, so Debbie Rowe at the time of treatment of Michael Jackson was just a receptionist, a nurse's assistant, okay, not certified or anything, okay. So anyway, they said the body was full of Demerol. Okay, so let me go back and let's look at this and let's pull up the documentary, Who Killed Michael Jackson. Now, I've already reviewed it, but I think it's important.
Well,
okay, hold on. Let me look for it. TMZ, Who Killed Michael. It came out almost 3 years ago. Okay, Who Killed Michael Jackson documentary. Okay, Who Killed Michael Jackson documentary, TMZ. Where is it? Where is the link on YouTube? Let's see. No, let's go to TMZ. Where is the link? Why are you hiding the link? YouTube TMZ. YouTube. I should have pulled it up, but I have other things to talk about, y'all. Okay, YouTube. Yesterday at the store, we had the best day ever yesterday. Yes, but we still got a long way to go. Okay, I'm still going out doing markets and stuff. Okay, so here we go, and let's do TMZ, Who Killed Michael. And Michael Jackson ain't dead. He faked it. Everything proves it. Okay, I've proven it. Okay, so 3 days ago, It was
you dream,
released,
you plan,
and
you work.
Let's go here. And is this the full documentary? Let's skip the ad. And this one is now. That's the promo for it. I figured it was the promo for it. Where is the full documentary? Here it is. Here it is, right here. And let me scroll to the part. Okay, so here we go.
Legendary king of pop, Michael Jackson, passed away on Thursday.
No, he didn't.
Michael Jackson died June 25th, 2009
No, he
from
didn't.
a drug overdose.
No, he
The
didn't.
district attorney has charged Dr. Conrad Murray with involuntary manslaughter.
He helped.
Guilty.
Dr. Conrad Murray was held solely responsible for Michael's death.
The court imposes the high term of 4 years imprisonment in this case.
Now, the lead detective in the case says Dr. Murray was just the last doctor of many left holding the bag.
There's a lot of folks who are to blame that have never had a reckoning.
Doctors like Arnold Klein, who regularly plied Michael with powerful opioids.
Massive doses of Demerol were utilized for something that generally doesn't require anything other than maybe a topical anesthetic.
Michael's
Okay,
ex-wife.
did you hear that? Demerol. Did you know that on the autopsy, there was no Demerol found in the body? I go over this in my Alive docuseries, okay? I am not, or am I the genius? I don't know. But didn't TMZ check Demerol? Okay, now, there were hair samples, right? So they say, oh, Demerol carves out the body a couple days. Not that much. Not as much as you're saying. Plus, you could still find it in the hair if you needed to, okay? And some other places too, but it showed even in the hair, no Demerol. This was not the body of Michael Jackson, right? That body was a cryonic body double. And I proved it because propofol is used in cryonic freezing. And when I was talking to Peter Michael Bobby on the phone many years ago, before I had put together that the the propofol and the and cryonics together, because Michael went to a cryonics convention, okay, and there was a lot talking about hot and cold and cryonics and Michael and all this other stuff right around the death announcement. Please watch my Alive docuseries, okay? So, with the cryonics body double, it's used in cryonic freezing. Peter Michael Bobby said to me, when I was trying to work it out, figure out, he was like, almost. How would he know I almost had it? Okay? Unless he's Michael Jackson. He was like, almost, you almost got it. And then I figured it out soon after that, because when he said almost, that gave me the incentive to search and search more. And then I put it all together. Okay? Even the mark on the chest right here, okay, was the thumper device. And in Beverly Hills, they didn't use a thumper device back then, but in cryonic freezing, they used the thumper device because they're still pumping, keeping the body alive, so to speak, artificially, and they're pumping the blood. Okay, so that's in the cryonics protocol, how they work. Okay, so anyway, please watch the Alive docuseries. If you are lost and you don't understand, it's all explained very well in the Alive docuseries that you can get at michaeljacksoninsider.com. All right, so let's talk about the play Sisterella. Okay. When you guys know, I'll go to the courtroom and sit and listen to testimony, because that's where you can trust words more often than you can when they're not under oath. Not to say people don't lie under oath, because we know Wade and James, you know, they lie constantly. They didn't lie during the 2005 trial, but they lied during this whole fiasco pursuit of extortion. Okay, that's still going on 13 years later. It's absurd. Okay, but anyway, so when Debbie Rowe testified at the Catherine versus AEG live trial, she said, yeah, you know, me and Michael would hang out and we would go to Forest Lawn and we would just sit and we would just talk. Yeah, it was around the time where he was doing Sisterella, the play. I was like, what the heck is a Sisterella, the play? Well, in 96, guys, I was working, a single mother working, selling cars, working 60 hours a week. I don't know what happened in the world between 96 and 2001 because my life was taking care of my children, watching what they wanted to watch on television, and going to work. And going wherever my children needed to go. You know, we go to the movies, we go to Universal Studios, we go to Disneyland, Magic Mountain. We would do things, okay? Go miniature golf, go to arcades. So I really didn't know that Michael was the executive producer of a play called Sisterella, which is a take off of Cinderella, right? So Debbie mentioned that, and I was like, oh, I gotta go look that up. But she mentioned it because that was what was in her mindset at that time. So Michael saw the play and decided to finance it. So from 93 to March 7th, 1996 is when Sisterella came out. Let me show you guys, okay? This is important. Okay, so here we go. Sisterella European Tour. The production, it was finally released to the public. See, 93, 96. It was great reviews, 12 NAACP Theater Award nominations, 8 NAACP Theater, including Best Play. And did you guys know that also Robert De Niro was a part of this play? Here, his name's down here. With Michael, I was like, whoa. Okay, here it is. Arriving under the odd auspices of pop star Michael Jackson, along with Miramax Films and Robert De Niro's Tribeca Productions, the show is premiering in Pasadena before a stint on Broadway as a proposed film translation. Okay, so, and you know what it's about? Listen to this. Okay. Set ostensibly in turn-of-the-century New York, the show opens up on a high note with a rousing gospel number at the funeral of a black man who leaves behind his beloved daughter, Ella, Sister Ella, and $900 million fortune, and a second wife and her 2 daughters from a previous marriage, who soon proved themselves to be sort of Dinah Ross and the Supremes. Okay, type. Okay, the Sisterella is about an inheritance and somebody trying to steal an inheritance, right? So Michael was talking to her during the production of that. They were friends from 93 to 96, okay? I believe the reason why Debbie brought that up is that's why she got pregnant on her own, because she was trying to take the inheritance, Michael's money, away from his black family. The black heirs. That's what I believe happened, okay? Because, number one, Debbie testified that Michael never gave her permission to get pregnant. He told her no, and she took it upon herself to get pregnant, okay? Now, Michael thought maybe that's a good idea so people wouldn't think that he was sexually attracted to little boys, that he actually was attracted to women and was able to conceive a child, right? Debbie Rowe got pregnant on her own and then told the press. She went down to, I think, Is It Scary, which turned out to be Ghost, but to that, where Michael was filming that, and that was in Van Nuys, the Van Nuys, what do they call it? Not Cliffhanger, where the airplanes are, Cliff something, but Van Nuys. And I used to go there too, and I remember that at one point they were saying that Michael was going to be filming in one of the hangars. That's what it is. One of the hangars. Okay, there. And I remember listening, and I think I went by there because I worked for Galpin Ford, and that's where all the cars were stored. Okay, not all of them, but we had, like, Galpin Ford was the #1 Ford dealer in the world. And they had, they had rented space at the Van Nuys hangar. And I remember them saying that Michael was in there shooting one of his short films. Let's look up, Is It Scary? Is It Scary? Michael Jackson. That never came out because of the 93 allegations. So Is It Scary was 93. It was Ghost that Michael was performing. Ghost, Van Nuys, Airport, Michael Jackson. I'm just going on about this, but anyway, ghost, Michael Jackson's ghost. Who was in the picture? Unless you're Michael Jackson, Van Nuys Airport. I think Shauna was the one that said that. Michael Jackson for Ghost filmed at the Van Nuys Airport. See, I'm telling y'all. Okay, and I remember certain little things. I never told y'all that. You know, this might be the first time I'm remembering it all like that. But I do remember. Okay, so here is Michael. It gave me a link. But you know the links sometimes don't go right where it needs to go. Okay, let me see. Oh yeah, here it is. Michael Jackson's Instagram, making of Ghost. Michael, see where he had those little things there so he can be the skeleton, right? Making of Ghost, during the making of the skeleton motion capture for Ghost Sherpa at Van Nuys Airport. Okay, yes, okay. I remember I went by there and I tried to get in, but I was a little scared. Plus I'm working, had a customer. Okay, but I remember that. I remember when I heard the rumor that Michael was filming in there. Okay, so when was Ghost production? Michael Jackson. Let's see. What year was that? 97. Okay, and I worked at Galpin Ford from 96 to almost 2001. So yes, it's all, you know how I make everything fit. It all fits. Okay. So anyway, so Debbie Rowe had in her mind about inheritance and stealing inheritance, because when Michael's on something, he talks about it all the time. Okay. So Debbie purposely, yes, my opinion, because why did she bring up Sisterella under oath in testimony? She said, yeah, because that was the time when he was all into Sisterella. Okay. And I think in one of my videos, I showed you the transcripts of that, right? So anyway, so Debbie Rowe got pregnant on purpose. And that's when she got we all saw it, the motorcycle ride, right? Where Michael's in a costume and she says, and who recorded that, right? It was a setup. Who recorded that? So in costume and told him that she was pregnant, right? And Michael couldn't, she went to the press, so Michael couldn't go against it. He thought, oh, well, I guess I'm in it now, you know. But under testimony, he never agreed, and he even told her no. Okay, and then with Paris, she had Michael Jackson drugged out of his mind. Her, Dr. Klein, and Dr. Hoffman had him so drugged out of his mind that when Prince was a baby, she would tell the nanny not to leave Michael alone with the baby, okay, with the baby. But meanwhile, she's out telling Mark Lester, in my opinion, I believe it's Mark Lester, that Michael said give him some sperm. That Michael said, okay? Because why are you trying to get pregnant, Debbie Rowe, right? Why are you trying to get pregnant, Debbie Rowe, right? When you don't think he's safe enough to be left alone with the baby, because you got an ulterior motive. Now, I'm going to tell you what the ulterior motive is. Debbie's a piece of crap, and she says so. I'm going to tell you the ulterior motive. Number one, she wanted that. The problem with the first pregnancy was, if Michael's not biologically the child and they're not married, then that's just kind of Michael has custody of the kids, right? So apparently they got married when Debbie was already pregnant. So it wasn't conceived. So legally, there's a loophole in there as far as the inheritance. So she had to get pregnant again. Okay. And this time it was going to be her child, because I do believe that with Prince, she was a surrogate, but with Paris, she's the real DNA mother. That's what I believe, because she looks just like her. And I believe Mark Lester is the sperm donor, like Mark Lester said, who played Oliver, who was friends with Michael. Okay. So at that point, she believed that they were married because they did the marriage ceremony in Australia. Okay. So in Australia, that doesn't mean you're married in the USA. You have to register that marriage here in the USA. And I don't think it was ever registered here. Okay, so I don't think it's a United States You can get married other places and it could be recognized here in the United States, but you gotta file it. You gotta, it's a contract. You gotta, file it with the proper authorities. And I don't think she did, but that's why she wanted the second baby. Okay. That's why she wanted the second child. Okay. I mean, she's devious. Okay. Now let's go to, and she wanted that money. She wanted that money because something in Debbie Rowe didn't think black people deserved the money. Because if she did, why didn't she use a black sperm donor? And don't tell me that Michael said, yeah, I don't want to have black kids. Okay, he was stoned out of his mind when she got pregnant with Paris, and she got pregnant on her own with Prince, on her own. Okay, so this is Debbie. So anyway, so and Prince was born in 97, in 97. Prince was born in 97, so it all fits. The timing and everything all fits, right? So let's go here. Let's go here. And it's not Prince and Paris and BG's fault. It is not their fault. It is, they didn't ask for this. They're just the product of Debbie's scheming, okay? And BG was supposed to be a black child from Brazil, okay? That Mark Shaffo, who was Debbie's friend, okay, gay porn producer, yes, okay? He went and got BG from Argentina. Okay, I heard that under oath myself, and they paid for it with RB bag, $300,000. And I believe BG was born here to parents that are from Argentina, and they probably don't even know that Michael has their child. Okay, but anyway, so let's do this. So Debbie Rowe, let's do a couple of rest in peace. Okay, but first let me finish this, and then we're going to do a couple of rest in peace. Okay, so let's watch a portion, fair use. So let's watch a portion of Who Killed Michael Jackson.
I feel horrible about not trying to stop it with people that I knew had problems. And there's nothing I can do to take it back. And if someone was hurt by it, saying I'm sorry isn't enough. To me, it's like I should have tried harder. I should have tried to stop it. I should have done more. I should have done something. And I didn't. And at the end, you're ultimately responsible for what you've done, how you've participated. You have to take responsibility for it. There's a number of people that have died from their addictions. And in some way, I was part of it. Give me a minute.
Don't feel sorry for
her. Building your online business?
Okay, that's one part. Here's the second part of it. Okay, we're going to get to those. Okay, hold on. Let's go back here. Here's the second part of it.
It's hard when you feel like you're part of the problem and you don't stop. I just think I should have been a better person than I was. I sucked as a human being.
Yep, you do. I told people.
For years, when I think about it. I was basically as bad as him. And I regret that. And will regret it. And I'm so sorry that I participated in it.
All right. Don't feel sorry for her. Because I told y'all she admitted that when I sat in the Catherine trial, that her, Dr. Klein, and Dr. Hoffman purposely addicted Michael to drugs. Dr. Klein and Dr. Hoffman, after Michael had his reconstructive surgery, kept giving him, competing for his gratitude by prescribing to him more and more powerful drugs. I got a better drug, Michael. No, I got a better drug. Guess who was going to pick up the drugs? Debbie was. Guess who was the Florence Nightingale trying to take care of Michael when he was recovering? It was Debbie. Debbie was the drug runner. Debbie was even writing prescriptions. And she is not even a nurse certified or nothing. And she got away with it. But now she's crying about it. Okay? She did other stuff. Imagine what TMZ didn't put in here. And imagine what she didn't say. She purposely, Michael wanted to be a goody two-shoe. He wanted to be a role model for people. He wanted to be a deliverer of a Jesus type of, not to be God-like, to like be an example of being good and doing the right thing and winning in life, right? But certain people don't like that. They don't like that, okay? Because they're jealous, they're envious, they're greedy, they want what you have, and they do whatever they can to destroy your good intentions and also to take your money from you. Okay? Yeah, Debbie, I said that. And remember when Debbie and I got into a Twitter battle, okay, a few years ago? Debbie and I, because after she came out of the stand and she admitted that admitted she participated in addicting Michael Jackson to drugs during the Catherine versus AEG live trial, and I was in the trial, when she got off the stand and went and hugged Catherine, and then told, and Trent was next to Catherine and said to Trent, if Trent gives you any problems, you come talk to me. As if she was the massa of the plantation. You know what I mean? Only call me when you have problems and then I'll come handle it. Meanwhile, she was the main person giving Michael Jackson those drugs and making sure he took them. And then got pregnant on her own, gave him those children. In a hearing in 2002, she gave Michael custody of Prince in Paris. Okay, and the judge asked her, what if Michael Jackson dies? Do you still want to give him full custody? She says, yes, because I had those kids for him, not for me. Okay, so it was all a diabolical plot and a plan. And I wonder if Paris ever confronted her, or even Prince confronted her, because something in that, you know, now that she has breast cancer, and I don't know how well she's doing or in recovery or remission, I have no idea Debbie's health status to this day. But she's crying because she participated in that. And other people died too. Michael did not die. Michael escaped it. Michael figured it all out, that he was bamboozled, hoodwinked, and led astray. Okay, and you read the actual will and testament. I was not a part of Michael's world when that will was signed in 2002. I know it's supposed to be fraudulent. I know that it's not supposed to be real. But let me do Michael Jackson. Last will and testament. Last will and testament. Okay, we're going to go over it just real quick. Okay, last will and testament of Michael Jackson. Let's get it. Okay, it says Michael Joseph Jackson, which is wrong in and of itself. Okay, there it is, Michael Joseph Jackson. And this is not the real will because they're not showing the initials. See, there's always tricks. They didn't even, this is a law firm, apparently. No open lab, something, but they don't even show the initials here. See, there's always game. Okay, here it is. Here's the actual will. This is the actual one. This is the one that's filed in the courts. Okay, let's see. Here we go. See, this is the real will and testament. Michael had the wrong name, but here, he didn't initial these. He didn't initial that this is his name. He didn't initial that my marriage to Debbie Rowe has been dissolved. I have 3 children living. Prince Michael Jackson Jr., that's not his name. His name is Michael Joseph Jackson Jr. Paris Michael Catherine Jackson, that's her real name. Okay, and Prince Michael Joseph Jackson III is Michael Jackson second. I have no other children living or deceased. He didn't initial that in agreement. He did not initial that in agreement. Now he's going to start initialing that everything is going to the Michael Jackson Family Trust. And in the Michael Jackson Family Trust that was amended and restated March 22nd, 2002, after Paris, Prince, and Blanket were born, all 3, it does not include their names, are not in it. Okay, their names are not in it. Now, let's go here to another one that he initialed. Okay, he said, I have deliberately, here it is, except as otherwise provided in the will or in the trust referred to in Article 3 hereof, I have intentionally omitted to provide for my heirs. That's Paris, Prince, and Blanket. I have intentionally omitted to provide for my former wife, Debbie Jean Rowe Jackson. Okay, he said she don't get nothing, and neither do the kids. Okay, I did not. I had nothing to do with Michael. Don't blame me. I didn't do this. Okay, now it is illegal. I have to tell you guys, it is illegal since Michael had custody of all 3 children. It is illegal for him to disinherit minors in the state of California. And real biological heirs, there's no statute of limitations. So Brandon can get his money at any time. Okay, he doesn't have to apply for it. All he has to do, and he tried to do the DNA, but Michael interfered with that, sabotaged that, and made it into a joke and made the logo come from Terminator or something. Okay, because it wasn't time, and they secretly had a little talk about things. Okay, had a little talk about things, and then the Mickey Howard story came out on TV One, right? And in that, even though Mickey Howard was Joe Jackson was her manager, she lived at the freaking house. Okay, she was there at that time. The pretend dad, Augie Johnson, was there too because he was a background singer on Off the Wall. It all matches. We have Mickey Howard going to signing in to see Joe Jackson in one of the, you know how you log yourself in when you're going somewhere? Okay, so Mickey was there. We can place her in the house with Michael Jackson at that time of conception with Brandon. It all matches, y'all. Okay, now with Paris, Prince, and BG, the reason why BG, who doesn't say anything, who's very quiet and very passionate about his movie making, and the guy that played Michael in my short film was also in BG's short film. I'm just saying, it's wild, right? It is wild, right? And the guy who played, oh my God, in the Atlanta movie, the guy that's supposed to be like Michael Jackson, I keep forgetting the name, but anyway, he played Cecil's dad in Spinning Gold. His name is Jay Farrell, right? But anyway, I'm going way off. Okay, but anyway, let's go back, man. I gotta remember where I'm at. Let's go back. Okay, so BG, the reason why he was the one that pushed up against Catherine legally was because he was the only one that was still a minor. Okay, Prince and Paris can't do it because they're emancipated, right? Paris earns her own money and she is beautiful and she deserves to be the model that she is, and she works really hard. Okay, Prince is very gregarious. So is Paris, but Paris is a little bit meaner. Prince is a happy person. He's grateful for everything, and he really likes the fans and everything. I just wish Heal the World would be his Heal LA would show a school with black and white kids, not just Latino kids. I'm just saying. Okay, I'm just saying, and not do a special event for the black kids with Mike Tyson. we are a special event. We are just not the regular kids that you just go to schools and do nice things for. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, I don't like that, because Michael and his brothers and all that, you should make sure when you go to a school that they got a percentage of black kids, and the black kids are there too. And so are the white kids, and so are the Asian kids, and so are the Latino kids. You make sure, because that's what Michael says he represented, was a world view without color lines and without special special treatment towards certain groups and neglecting other groups. Okay, we as black people are not a special event. Okay, we should, those children in LA, and there are, you can't say you can't find no elementary school with black kids in it. Come on. Come on. Or white kids, or, you know, here in North Hollywood, where I am, there's black population, white population, Asian population, Mexican population, or Latino, because all Latinos aren't from Mexico. Okay, Latino population. So try to be more balanced. That's the only gripe I have with Prince. Okay, that's the only gripe I have with him. So let's say he's going to get better next time. Let's hope. Okay, but anyway, so that's why BG, because he was the only one that was probably still a full-time student and under the age of 26. Okay, you're either a full-time student and under the age of 26 to be under the custody, be a dependent child, or you are 18 and not in school, then you are emancipated. So Paris has been emancipated for years, but they had money coming from them for things that they had since they were a child, and that money came due, you know, once they became adults, right? So that's why BG was the one to speak out against Catherine, saying, we're not paying for your attorneys, because Catherine didn't want Michael to sell, reportedly, the My Jack catalog, but Michael needed the money from the My Jack catalog to finance the Michael biopic. Okay, and Catherine didn't want him to do that, so she hired some attorneys, and they charged her over $500,000 just so they can go, no, we didn't win. Okay, $500,000, and My Jack was sold anyway. Okay, and I think it was sold to Sony. I'm not quite sure. You guys want to look it up, you can. But you guys know me. I am a fact-based chick. Okay, and if you ever hear something that I said was wrong, sometimes I misspeak, I will correct it in the description. You can always let me know if I said something wrong, or correct me, because I want to be as factually accurate as I possibly can. Okay, so anyway, so let's move on to yeah, so I think the timing of the documentary is a little weird, of them re-releasing the documentary at this time, TMZ. Maybe they just wanted to re-release it. Who knows? Okay, so some rest in peace. Oh my God. Sly and the Family Stone. Sly Stewart, Sly Stone. Of Sly and the Family Stone. Everyday people, I want to thank you for letting me be myself again. Okay, that was great. Oh, so many great songs. So many. I mean, the documentary on him was fabulous. Oh my God, it was so good. They decided, they had interviewed Sly for the documentary, but he was so weak and so frail, because he was 82 though. He lived to be a long, you know, that's a full life, and he was a drug addict for most of his life. Okay. So Sly Stone, rest in peace. Oh my God. Thank you so much, for the music. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Another rest in peace is, oh my God, the last of the three brothers, the Wilson brothers for the Beach Boys, Brian Wilson. Oh my God. Oh my God, just, there's, come on, surfing time, person with me, you know, just so great. Just the Beach Boys, they crossed over. Black people knew the Beach Boys songs because they were so great and so wonderful and so happy and so fun and so energetic, you know, the Beach Boys. Oh my God. So thank you for the music. And he was the lead singer and the basic writer of the songs too. But he went a little crazy. He was a little crazy. I saw the movie, which was great. You guys, I say watch the Beach Boy movie. I don't know what it's called, but it's really good. You know, I highly recommend it. Yeah, but he ended up going a little bit nutso. But he lived to be 82. So thank you, Brian, for the music. And then he was like 80% deaf in one ear or something. And that's kind of like me. I'm kind of deaf in one ear too. All right, since a child. I had, just as a child. Okay, so, and then Ananda Lewis. Oh my gosh, look how beautiful she is. She was on MTV. She was a VJ, and I think she had a talk show at one point. Well, I had the pleasure of meeting with her and talking to her. We did a convention, a seminar together, and she was the host and I was a guest speaker. And we talked afterwards and stuff, and she was like down home, just real, just so real. But apparently she was 52, she had cancer. So rest in peace. So that's the 3 that died this week. It is just, oh my God, from the 9th to today is the 12th, 9th through the 12th. So we got 3 big gigantic deaths. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with this. Okay, guess who's coming out with the book? Teddy Riley. Teddy Riley's coming out with a book called Remember the Time. Okay, and he is the king of New Jack Swing, and he produced Michael's album and the song Remember the Time. Dangerous, I think he produced. And so he's coming out with a book now. So Remember the Time, and it's got the font of Remember the Time, right? Teddy's a believer. Remember when the death announcement first happened? Oh, I got something in my hair. The death announcement first happened. He said he believes Michael Jackson faked his death, and he's correct. He is correct. So I'm gonna see if I could, maybe talk with Teddy. Maybe. Okay, Michael, don't be throwing salt. Don't be throwing salt at me, blocking my interview with Teddy Riley. I love to talk to him about, does he still believe Michael faked his death, okay? And don't pay him off either, okay? All right. But yeah, Teddy Riley and Akon, they both, believe that Michael Jackson faked his death. And they both believe that Brandon Howard is Michael Jackson's kid too. So all 3 of us are like, the same, right? And these big beliefs. So anyway, guys, I think that's it for me for now. Let's see if there's any more news. Be sure to go to michaeljacksoninsider.com, and you can watch the live docuseries run online, or go to Stays All Day Shea or the skinbutterstore.com and do your skin a favor, okay? Order yourself some fabulous, wonderful, great, make your skin shimmer and shine and it get that summer glow and have the smoothness and reduce your wrinkles. It's a collagen booster. It's a cell regeneration. It gives you extra sun protection. So when you put on your sunscreen, it doesn't, and you put on your shea butter, it won't dilute it. It'll enhance it naturally, because shea butter comes from Ghana, and Ghana has natural sun protection because the sub-Sahara Africa, which is below the Sahara Desert, south of Sahara Desert, the average temperature is 80 degrees. So there's a lot of sun. That's why we have dark skin, to protect us from the UV rays. Okay. And that's why we have tightly curled hair, so our scalps don't burn. So that's in my first book, The Climate, A Perspective Unvisited. Okay, so anyway, guys, let's see. Anything else here? Michael Jackson's One hits 5,000 shows. Wow. And I've seen MJ the Musical. I've seen Michael Jackson Immortal. Michael Jackson One, so I try to keep up and make sure I see all Michael's projects, and I'm looking forward to Michael biopic. I am so looking forward to that. And I got something that I can tell you guys once the biopic comes out. I have some news to tell you guys, okay, that I can't tell now. And it's a big one. It's huge, okay? And then I'm working on something else that I'll tell you guys about too, okay? So MichaelJacksonInsider.com and theskinbutterstore.com, and I love you all. See you next time. Bye-bye.